Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Oh, it's gotta hurt. Poor Bud Light. You know, I'd feel bad for them if they didn't deserve every little bit. It's all collapsing, from their stock to their stock rating by HSBC and other banks. Of course, we know their profits are tanking. Their financial statements being released in Q2 are going to be an utter disaster. And to add insult to injury, their social credit rating, I'm not referring to the Chinese social credit, but something kind of similar, also just tanked. I didn't even know that this stuff existed, but apparently a corporate equality index rating is a real thing. I had no idea. Maybe this is why companies are getting woke and going broke, because they're fighting to get to the top of this ridiculous corporate equality ladder, get to the top of the rankings. Well, let's just say Bud Light dropped a little bit in the woke leaderboards. Perfect time for a plug. We're actually launching a Get Woke Go Broke shirt on the merch store. You know what? I've been questioning myself. Why haven't I done this before? You guys love the Let's Go Brandon t-shirt, so why not go take a look at the Get Woke Go Broke t-shirt, which just launched on the Liberal Hive Mind merch store. Oh, and I said the Get Woke Go Broke t-shirt, there's also a mug and a hoodie if you prefer. We call it the Get Woke Go Broke gear set. Let's send a message to these woke-infested corporations that if you go woke, you will go broke, as the silent majority stands up for what they believe in. Get the t-shirt, folks. It's a great way to support the channel, to support us, the people who work behind the scenes, to make sure you guys get content every single day. Get woke, go broke. Bud Light deserves every little bit of it. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on as the bad news continues to pile in. First, they lost patriots in their basic male masculine consumer base, and now they're losing the wokies after pandering to them. Bud Light's damage control phase is simply just doing and applying more damage. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, take a look at this headline here from the New York Post. Anheuser-Busch loses LGBTQ+ rating for missing key moment to stand up for Dylan Mulvaney. The nation's largest gay advocacy group stripped Anheuser-Busch of a key metric following the beer giant's backpedaling over Bud Light's controversial tie-up with trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney. The Human Rights Campaign, which issues a corporate equality index to rate companies on their policies towards workers in the LGBTQ community, told the Belgian-based brewer that it will slash its perfect 100 score, according to a letter leaked to USA Today on Thursday. Bud Light's parent company has been scrambling to fix the fallout from having Mulvaney associated with the brand. Sales of the nation's top-selling beer have plummeted nearly 25% since Mulvaney posted a photo of a Bud Light tallboy featuring her face on April 1st. Anheuser-Busch had a key moment to really stand up and demonstrate the importance of their values of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and their response really fell short. Eric Blom, HRC's Senior Director, Programs and Corporate Advocacy, told USA Today. Anheuser-Busch previously achieved a 100 on the index, scoring perfectly in 4 criteria: protections from workplace discrimination, inclusive benefits, corporate social responsibility, and responsible citizenship. As a result, it boasted a best places to work for LGBTQ+ equality. However, HRC's May 9th letter to Anheuser-Busch said it plans to decrease its corporate equality index rating. The company has 90 days to respond. HRC's website on Friday showed Anheuser-Busch has a points deducted notice for responsible citizenship criteria. Now, I can't even really believe that this is a thing. I mean, take a look at this. Anheuser-Busch Company Inc. 100 2022 score, 30 out of 30 in workforce protections, 30 out of 30 in inclusive benefits, 40 out of 40 in supporting an inclusive culture and corporate social responsibility, and now responsible citizenship, points deducted. They're gonna lose their precious woke score. Oh no. What are they ever going to do? The advocacy group giving them 90 days to respond. Bud Light's gonna be in a real sticky situation. I mean, it never ends for them. What do? Do they apologize for the partnership and try to mend their current relationship with their legacy consumer base? Or do they feed into the woke blackmail? You know, this is typical behavior of the woke mafia, holding these companies hostage. Do as we say or else. And what's Bud Light gonna do? Honestly, nothing. They should do absolutely nothing. It's a great example of the woke mafia's tactics, but it's also the perfect example as to how inflated their cultural influence really is. You know, you have millions of consumers who are fed up with the woke crap, who simply are not supporting these companies anymore. If you get woke, you go broke and you lose millions. But on the flip side, with the leftist mob, if you don't bend the knee to their every single demand, if you don't constantly reaffirm and celebrate them, real spooky stuff happens. You're gonna have your social credit score reduced. What does that even mean? Nobody even knows that these things exist. Don't work at Bud Light. They no longer have 100 points in their corporate equality index, to which probably the average Bud Light laborer responds, ¿Qué? No comprende. Bud Light's sitting there panicking, asking the classic question, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What do we possibly do in this situation? Well, the answer is so freaking simple. Literally nothing. Stop the pathetic genuflecting and pandering to the woke mob. They do not possess the cultural power that you think they do. They're a giant paper tiger, a loud minority that doesn't represent the average American. The average American was your consumer base. It wasn't good enough. Being the #1 beer in the country wasn't good enough. Bud Light needed more. Endless quarterly growth. Well, at some point, it's just not gonna happen, or you're gonna have to figure out other clever ways to make it happen. These companies lack creativity, and they operate in these weird bubbles. I'm sure a good chunk of you guys are in the corporate space known as LinkedIn, and you know the sort of hive mind that exists in the corporate world. These people don't even know their own audience because they're living in some sort of New York corporate fairy tale, where everything is about diversity initiatives and DEI and equity and this, that, and the other, and all these HR buzzwords, and they don't understand the average American's perception on these cultural Marxist social revolution crusades. It's not what you think it is. You live in a corporate bubble. You're living in a fairy tale land. The reality is, LinkedIn doesn't represent the real world, just like old Twitter didn't represent the real world. They're leftist echo chambers. You know, it seems real bad. HRC's website is gonna deduct points from your social credit score. Who cares? Literally nobody will ever find out. No one will ever know. Not a single human being on the planet will ever know. Only HR departments will ever be privy to this information, and it will never make it past those four walls. It's not going to be some big media sensation controversy. Quite the opposite. It'll be a tree that falls in the middle of a forest at night that nobody hears. Does it even really exist is the question, right? No, not really, at least not in our immediate perception. So Bud Light is left between a rock and a hard place. What do? Certainly don't pander to the woke mob, because that's gonna make it real bad. That's like having a big gushing wound just recently stitched up, and you decide the best course of action is to rip it up and jump in salt water. I'm actually gonna stop speaking because I don't want to give the executives at Bud Light any more advice as to what they should do, because I have to admit I'm rather enjoying seeing the total collapse of this woke corporation. And I'm honestly loving that it's just a snowball that continues to roll down the hill, and now their own woke audience is turning on them. You know, a whole lot of people still haven't found out. A lot of the woke advocacy crowd is still shilling Bud Light, like this viral video that everyone's been leaking recently.
All right, everyone, so it's Friday night. I'm getting ready to go out. This is the look. I'm feeling cunt, but before I go out, I've got to pregame. And the only way I pregame is with an ice cold Bud Light. So good. Happy Friday.
Well, let's just say that this TikTok individual is getting educated in the comments section that actually Bud Light isn't a woke company that supports their causes. Bud Light got cold feet and didn't stand up for them when it counted. And so one boycott is now snowballing and turning into another boycott. Both the boycotts coming together in this beautiful culmination, this beautiful symbiotic relationship known as getting woke and going broke. You just gotta love to see it. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Of course, you know we'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you on the next one.